Guys, what's up? Oh my God. All of this is such a mess. Hold on 1 second. I have an issue. We're running a little late today because of an issue. That's right. Well, that's not right. How's it going, guys? Look at us. We all made it. We're here. Our lives are complete. But the issue that I'm actually experiencing is what just happened. Hold on. I probably added too many. Damn it. No, I don't know how I'm going to do this now. Oh my God. Are you kidding me? I have none of my. Oh, shit. None of my tabs are open. Guys, I live and die by my tabs. You understand? I don't have my microphone in front of me. All right, this is a disaster. I have 2 weeks left of the 90-day challenge, and today is proving to be challenging. What's going on? Look, inexplicably, folks, I have 0 of my presets. So all of the stories, all of the articles, everything, everywhere we were going today, I had a whole thing on Bitcoin and Binance. I have a lot of research that I did on Gemini and DCG, Genesis, Gemini. There's DCG could potentially default this week. And today is a huge day. It's the last day of mediation before like $630 million is due to Genesis and that entire troop. Now, DCG is the parent company to Genesis. There is some weird insider loan shit happening there, but also Gemini is part of that group, and they're very upset. And I think that there's big mediation happening today, and you would hope that they could come to some sort of agreement before these huge loans are due Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of this week. Now, if DCG defaults tomorrow, they're obviously going to default all week. What does that even mean? And then there's also something that I heard on a podcast, and I've been trying to find some information on, and I have to go back to the podcast because it's like I was on a run. But also, I don't know if it's Grayscale or, as part of that whole group. There's also a Bitcoin loan that is due that is doubled in size because it was from November and it's due this week. So there's actually like probably some big boys hoping that Bitcoin goes down this week, but just this week. And then so they can pay back that loan at a cheaper rate, I guess. And then they would like it to continue to pump. So there's just a ton of crap, and I have none of it queued up. How's it going? But you know what? We're going to make the best of it. We're going to scroll through. Yeah, that's that. So what's going on? We'll go into the chat. Say what's up, Mr. Joker. How you doing? What's up, Wilder? Good morning, Chris. Good morning, Antoine and Michigan and Vince. What's up, Richard? Brazil, IRL. How are you? Samino, Prithvi. Thank you, Fresh Hell Enthusiast. That's what we're doing here. Chris Cooper. When is your show? I've been hearing good things and want to join your Algo Active challenges. Chris is talking to IRL. Her show is tomorrow. I bet you she's about to tell you. And then Christian, what's up? Good morning. Shows are on Tuesdays. There you go. But Koopa said, I don't value people's time near as well as he does. That's because I told her to hurry up the other day. Oh my God, 2 screens, Coop. You got this. Let's go. 2 screens would have been great. 2 screens would have been great. Yeah, I don't know that I can save this. But we're good. You know what, guys? I'm just going to make the best of this. I'm not going to sit here and dwell on it. You've already looked at me stare at the computer with terror, How much longer do you guys want to watch me look at my computer like this? So And then by the way, folks, huge Warriors game, must-win game for the Warriors tonight against the punk-ass Lakers. God, I hope they win tonight. Fisherman, what's up? Good morning. Here's the Pepe Cruise in. Fisherman and Crypto for Change want to give a shout out. Shout out not to Crypto for Change. Crypto for Change can't do a backbend to save his life. Just kidding. Shout out to the Pepe market makers on Algorand, Agash, and Fisherman. We rely on you for a reliable market, and we appreciate it. How about the algo prices dipping to 16.7, bottom of the barrel prices? I am hurt. You're literally hurt because you can't do a damn wheel. Neither can I. If you guys watched my, where I prioritized not my dignity, and I made a video being a little silly. It's all good. That's who I am. James, yeah, I haven't looked at prices this morning, actually. I just figured they were bad. I made a bad trade this week, or you could call it maybe a good trade. I got a little emotional on Friday. I've been holding out. I've been knowing shit's going to hit the fan. I've been feeling that. And all of this euphoria this year is like there's got to be a correction or I'm going to miss it. Now, I'm not obviously all out of the market. I've never been. I have things on my ledger. Come on, folks. But what I was starting to feel emotionally excited about some of these packed farms. And if you know me, I like to stack Bitcoin and I'm still long algo. So a Bitcoin algo farm is appealing to me and I wanted to get in. And then after the markets were fucking crazy on Friday, I decided to enter Bitcoin at 28.9 and, algo at high 17s. So I could just, open a position and start to provide liquidity on Pact and participate in the farms. Well, I stopped myself out of that yesterday. I was like, you know what? This is all looking crazy. I started looking into this Genesis stuff. There was a lot of uncertainty this week. CPI and Genesis, and then Binance started to stink to all hell. And so I made a stupid ass trade this weekend and sold at 28.5. Now, it's not that stupid because I bet you, and I actually don't know, but I'm hoping for my sake that Bitcoin's not pumping right now. But I mean, it wasn't that big of a trade. It's fine. Sometimes you lose, folks. Sometimes you got to jump ship. You know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, look, this doesn't feel right. I got to go. And then sometimes you lose on that. Anyways, I'm not a trader, but I'm a long, and I like to hold when it makes sense. But I also will jump ship when I make a mistake. DeFi is down 21% in 24 hours. It's a good, yeah. Bitcoin goes under 20. Okay, well, a Pepe rip would do me just fine. Wouldn't mind that. DeFi is, look, I love DeFi. I love it, guys. I love the wallet. I love the people. I love it all. The issue is it necessary? The token. That's it. And I think people are wondering that. And they're also just buying Pepe. The issue with DeFi is that you can use Deflex now. And I asked actually when he was talking about it, Stefan, I was like, well, how does that keep, if Alamex is using DeFi or Deflex and, whoever else is using Deflex, where does the utility for the DeFi token come in? Because if I can just go to Alamex and use the same technology, why do I need to hold 25,000 DeFi or however many DeFi in my wallet? Do you guys have an answer for that? John says that there is a 4.2 billion market cap programmed for Pepe. That would be cool. That would be cool. I'd have a lot of happy friends. I think if anything, I'm, the narrative that I like to see is Pepe flipping Shiba, Sheeb, friend of the show, Gurkle. I pronounce things well, guys. All right. So let's, if you thought that I screwed up navigating before, you're in for a treat today, folks, because old Koopy Pants doesn't have any of his shit put in. Old Koopy Pants. Oh God, embarrassing. I embarrass myself. You know what I mean? That's it. I mean, I guess that's what most people do, is embarrass themselves. All right. So we're going to share the screen. Oh, what is going on? Is everything going to be okay? Maybe everything's going to be okay, folks. It's not showing up. Well, here, let's look. We're going to ride. You guys ready to ride? You guys ready to roll? Sorry. You guys are ready to ride? Oh my God. My wife's right. I'm ridiculous. All right. Okay. So futures are looking okay. The Dow feels like it's like, hey man, I'm feeling a little optimistic about today. NASDAQ's like, I don't know. Wow. Broken. I'm a broken man. All right. Regional banks rebound for a second day as PacWest cuts dividend, says business is fundamentally sound. Moving on. Whatever. Berkshire Hathaway shares rise as investors cheer earnings beat and Geico's quick turnaround. Look at this old man. Undefeated. Look at this undefeated old man. Good for you, dude. Drink a Coke. Eat a Big Mac. Enjoy your day. Bitcoin slides after network congestion leads Binance to briefly halt withdrawals. There's a lot of weird shit happening there. Hopefully, we're going to be able to dive in a smooth way. Am I even sharing this? Yes, thank God. All right. Coinbase CEO says SEC is on a lone crusade, and it dials back on suggestion exchange may relocate. So we don't need to read this. Oh, wow. There's some Ripple news on CNBC. That's interesting. I find that, these types of sites tend to lead what we're about to find out about. So I'm sure if you're an XRP person waiting on, pins and needles for a decision, you want to see it on these mainstream media sites. You want to see it talked about because a lot of times it's a leading indicator. But yeah, we don't need to look at this article because basically what happens here is that, Brian Armstrong is saying the same thing he's saying all the time. He's saying basically the SEC led by Gary Gensler is trying to, hurt crypto in the United States and put it behind the rest of the world. But he's walking back the idea that because he kind of alluded if they had to, they could leave the United States. And he's like, no, guys, we're not actually going to leave the United States. But we are concerned that policy is putting the United States behind. Okay. You guys get that. Let's look at Ripple. What do you got, baby? Ripple will have spent $200 million fighting SEC lawsuit. Ripple will have spent $200. This is why you don't sue your regulators because it costs a lot of money and it's hard to win. Ripple will have spent $200 million by the time its legal battle with the the SEC is over. SEC accuses Ripple, Brad Garlinghouse, and co-founder Chris Larson of breaching U.S. security laws by selling XRP without first registering it with the regulator. Garlinghouse said Gary Gensler and other SEC officials have made statements in the past which contradict the regulator's belief that XRP is a security. With the SEC, we will spend, this is the first time I've shared this publicly, by the time all's said and done, we'll have spent $200 million defending ourselves against a lawsuit, which from its very beginning, people were like, well, this doesn't make a lot of sense. The SEC accuses Ripple of breaching securities laws, maintaining the view that XRP should be considered a digital currency. Oh, sorry. If I just take out the middle of that whole paragraph, it doesn't make sense. By selling XRP without first registering it with the regulator, Ripple contests the SEC's allegations, maintaining the view that XRP would be considered a digital currency rather than a security. Ripple isn't the only company the SEC has pursued enforcement action against. Kraken, lots of Wells notices, also notified Coinbase that it plans to sue the company. Much of the SEC has done. What the SEC has done involves applying existing regulations to the crypto industry, which was formed several decades after the Howey test. One of the key tests to determine whether something is a security. Okay, we don't need to get into all this crap. You have video footage of their chair of the SEC as a professor at MIT saying 75% of these digital assets are commodities. And now he says they're all securities because he's the head of the SEC and he's seeking power and he's putting power ahead of sound policy to grow an economy in the United States. Damn. Kind of came out swinging, didn't you, Darlinghouse. The SEC was not immediately available for comment. All right, enough. No, we're not listening to that. Okay. So let's go here. We'll share this instead. Bloomberg. Powell's bet against recession looks good, minus the credit crunch and a DC standoff. They're going to lift the debt ceiling. This is like such political theater. They're not going to let the United States default. They're trying to get, Republicans are trying to get stuff from the Democrats. Democrats want to push in some stuff. But in the end, all this drama about lifting up the debt ceiling is for nothing. It's all leverage. They're going to not let the United States default. It's just about how much are they going to let the narrative that they may let the United States default drag on and cause uncertainty and yada, 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 yada. There's been rumors floating around that they're going to ban short selling to protect the regional banks. I think they did that, in 2007 or something? Didn't work out so great. Chile, inflation slides below 10%. Good job, Chile. What else? Anything else? All these mass shootings. That's heartbreaking. We certainly got a mental illness problem, and we're glorifying this, and we're, it's not even just mental illness. It's just people becoming hopeless, and they're seeing a lot of people do that type of thing, and they think that that's their best way out. And man, is that some bull ass shit. All right. China limits data after U.S. research spurred alarm. What? What are you talking about? What you talking about? I don't want to get into it. I don't want to do it. I'm not going to do it, but I'm kind of curious what you're talking about. All right. Binance moved 4.4 billion of Bitcoin across its wallets. All right. So, guys, last night before I went to bed, we were like, "Oh my God, what is going on? Why are these huge outflows coming from Binance at the same time as, the price of Bitcoin is going down?" Usually when all those outflows happen, it's because whales are moving to cold storage. But that doesn't seem like that's what would be happening during a dip. Why would they do that? Why so much? It's the largest outflows ever. And it turns out maybe they're just moving them to different wallets. So let's really, it seems like they figured this out here. So Binance moved 4.4 billion of Bitcoin across its wallets. Binance says there was movement between its hot and cold wallets. CryptoQuant's research head says 157,000 Bitcoin were shifted. Binance, the largest crypto exchange, moved 4.4 billion worth of Bitcoin across its digital asset wallets on Sunday based on a net. Why would they do that during really high fees too, by the way? Like, was it really the time to do this? Maybe they explain this more. The tokens were moved in two tranches of 117,000 and 40,000. A lot of people commenting about the huge Bitcoin outflows from Binance today. Two transactions of 117,000 and 40,000 Bitcoin, respectively. In reality, these are Bitcoin sent to newly created change addresses that belong to Binance. Binance said in a tweet, between Binance and hot cold wallets due to the BTC address adjustments. Okay, I don't really know what that means, but cold wallets aren't connected to the internet, unlike hot wallets, and are often viewed as a more secure way of storing digital currency. In response to a request for a comment, Binance referenced a blog post earlier this year where it wrote that large crypto exchanges run management systems that operate dynamically with cold and hot wallets for liquidity and security. Okay, so we're aware that some data are showing a large volume of outflows from Binance. This outflow are actually movements between Binance hot and cold wallets due to the BTC address adjustments. Last year's crypto crash and bankruptcies like FTX undermined confidence in digital asset platforms. Lingering skepticism about the industry has left crypto traders on alert for major shifts related to assets to exchanges. Binance on Sunday also temporarily halted Bitcoin withdrawals for about 90 minutes, blaming congestion on the token's blockchain. So I believe that the excuse here is that the fees were set too low, so a bunch of transactions didn't go through. It implemented another suspension on Monday in Asia and cited a similar reason. The latest halt was lifted after the company said higher fees had been applied to pending transactions to get them picked up by Bitcoin miners, the computer rigs that operate the token's underlying blockchain. Yeah, we don't need to know about that right now. Bitcoin retreated on Monday. amid a wider drop in crypto markets, shedding as much as 3.1% before pairing some of the slide. The biggest digital asset was trading at 28.2 as of 7:52 a.m. in London. All right. Well, there you go. How about that? What else we got? All right. This is an old article. All right. Let's go back here. Let's close this up. Okay. Make it big. I got this. My shot's not even framed well. My hair's a mess. Jeff, what's up? Good morning. At ReCoop. California giving reparations for ReCoop? No, that's actually not real, Mr. Joker. I will tell you, I know very little about this. I pay so little attention to that type of shit. But I will say I did read a little bit because, like probably anybody, you see the headline, 1.2 million. A group of people in Oakland, California, the home of the Black Panthers and a lot of, has a long history, right? And so they got together as a group and decided on the terms of reparations that they will request. Okay. So a group of people that all want reparations got together and came up with a plan for what they want the reparations to look like. So, I mean, as the headline would lead you to believe, I mean, who knows in this world what we're going to do. But it doesn't seem like $1.2 million to a bunch of people would solve the problem. Maybe for them, it certainly would solve the problem for them. But I don't know that would help the division that's happening in our country. Might not aid it. That might not bring us all together. That might make us create some jealousy. It's potentially there might be some jealousy in society at that point. Rage even. All right. The videos looked intense and the numbers were crazy. I didn't look any of it. Is under 500,000 though. Okay. Well, a game of political chicken, basically. It takes a weird series of events and a bank run for it to be an issue, but we are talking about a meme token with zero utility right now. What are you guys talking about? Yeah. Well, and look, I haven't spent a bunch of time talking about Pepe today. I feel like that's been a hyper focus of all of ours for the past 3 days. It has been very exciting to see some activity for Pepe on Algorand, it becoming part of the conversation. A lot of people, I know a lot of our VeChain friends that have already maybe hold a NFT, an Algorand NFT already. They found it very easy to come on over to Algorand and start to participate in the Pepe craze. So shout out to them if they're out there watching the show right now. And I mean, anybody, right? I mean, I saw that there was Blue Pepe or whatever. They had Pepes on other chains that weren't actually Pepe. The cool thing about it on Algorand is actually wrapped and we can play ball and so look, is Pepe dead? I have zero idea. I doubt it. Seems very unlikely. It is a great meme. It seems like it has legs. Right now, the sentiment is on all these other meme coins and where other people can get rich. Our buddy Algobama, friend of the show, another friend of the show, seemed to be fading Pepe for his stupid Solana thing that he's getting rich on. Felt like that was a little bit of a betrayal. Kidding, man. I love Bama. Whatever. You do whatever you want to do, bro. You're good in my book. All right. So I'm going to stop sharing this and then I'm going to share again because it looked like I might actually have some things. Let's see if this works. Okay, we're going to look at where should we go next? We'll go to CoinDesk in a second, but let's just go to, okay, so this might actually work. Okay, so what happened was interesting. All right, so I'm not as desperate as it was. It's just going to be weird. It's just going to slide around like that. Oh yeah, okay. So my my worst trade actually was a good trade. I mean, it was a bad trade to begin with because I let my emotion and what I wanted to happen when I knew in my brain that we were going to have a rough week. And it's starting to look like that. Okay, so you guys can see all this. We're all in good shape. You appreciate me and my deft scrolling capabilities. So Bitcoin is sitting at 27.8. It's down 5% over the last week. It's down almost 4% over the last day. Okay, so that's that line right there. Ethereum is down below 19. It's not as affected as Bitcoin is right now. There's a lot of Bitcoin FUD right now. We're gonna talk about it. Is it FUD? Is it ordinals? Is it a attack? Seems like it's just a lot of bloat on a chain that didn't want that, but it's still working. It was the second time ever that it happened to where the Bitcoin transaction fees were higher than the mining fees. So miners on one block earned more from transaction fees than mining, which is going to be extraordinarily important, in fact, in the future, especially as the halving next year, where miners are going to make less from block rewards. They're going to need to make more from transaction fees. So that's actually good. What's not good is that it exposes, how slow and not good for moving it is. But then you got Lightning Network. But then there's problems with Lightning Network. So, folks, Lightning Network doesn't really work that great in a high fee environment, which they probably should fix. All right, but that's not my expertise. XRP is definitely down 43 cents. Cardano is about 37 cents, but it's had a better hour. Polkadot for 540. It's had a bad week, down 8%. The Solana guys are feeling emboldened. They're out there talking about Solana right now. I see it everywhere. Gas fees on Ethereum. I saw that there was some ridiculous amount of 60 ETH for an 84 wrapped ETH transaction. I don't know the details about that, but it looked ludicrous. I last week bridged 250 million Pepe to Algorand and paid $27 in gas. Right now, that is a bargain. Shiba's down 11%. If you're a Pepe fan, you want to see Shiba down a lot more than that. I feel like that is who you have in your sights. If you're a Pepe fan, you're like, I want to take you out. Shiba at 5.3 billion. Some news around Atom and them changing the way the staking there to provide more utility for this token, which they admit the people that are high up over there at Cosmos, that Atom sort of doesn't really do anything. Okay. Aptos not having a good week, down 16%. Near, holy shnikes, $1.68. Haven't seen that low in a while. 13.7. Algorand, there you go. Look, we're not as Algorand got kicked in the nuts so hard this year that you got near down 14% in the last week. Algorand's just like, bro, we've been down. Chill out. Over 17 cents. Something to celebrate. Celebrate, guys. Algorand's over 17 cents. Call your mom. Tell her you did it. Mom, Algorand's got a 1.2 billion market cap. Remember 2 Christmases ago when I told you I was going to be rich? I never said that, by the way. That's not me. That's you. That's you that said that 2 Christmases ago. You idiots. All right, Pepe. Look at that, though. You know what, though? Algorand can go look back. Be like, look behind it and be like, go, you stupid frog. Look at that Pepe. Pathetic. 52. What's happened? Still got 5 zeros like a man, though. Needs to take out a zero. Up almost 2% over the last hour. Agash and John made a buy on Algorand over the last 24 hours. A little less positive, down 20%. But the last 7 days, got them tendies. All right. Remember when everyone was excited about Decentraland, but then it got labeled as a security by Gary along with Algo? Not as excited about that anymore, are you? Your little 1983 looking metaverse. All right, Tezos is down to 94 cents. So markets are definitely pushing down, folks. Volume is high-ish for Ethereum, low for Bitcoin. Okay. All right, everybody. Now let's go to your favorite ASA chart. Let's make sure we can see everything. All right, Pepe's down about 15%. Algo's exactly at 17 cents. Buttcoin's pumping. Buttcoin. Chips. I lost a little bit on chips this weekend. Cool site. You guys should check it out. DFly up a little bit in the last hour. But yeah, that's brutal. Somebody's selling that off. Opulus is recovering a bit at 15 cents. Bank. Pepe. The TVL. What's going on here? Pepe Algo is 80,000. Oh, man. Why is there only 35,000 TVL and Pepe ETH? Who rugged that pool? And left me. Okay. All right. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All right. You guys rugging Pepe on Algorand right now? Is that what's going on? Because if you want people to come over to Algorand and use Pepe, you got to keep some liquidity there, folks. So the trades aren't ridiculous. God damn it. All right. All right. Well, we did that. Vestige pissed me off. Now let's go to it's not Vestige's fault. How's gold doing? Did you guys see? Let's look. Oh, gold just took a dip. But yeah, no, it's over 2,000. Love to see it. If you're a gold holder, it living over there, this thing could rip. I think gold could rip. Not that it's going to rip like Bitcoin would rip, but did you see? Where's this? Do I still have it? I can. Let's do this. Share this tab instead. Let's make sure you guys can see it. See what China's been doing with gold? China's gold splurge reaches 6 month as reserves rise again. China added to its gold reserves for a 6th straight month, extending a flurry of purchases as central banks around the world expand their holdings of bullion. And that's not chicken bouillon, folks. Escalating geopolitical and economic risks. China raised its gold holdings by about 8 tons in April, according to data for the State Administration of Foreign Exchange on Sunday. Total stockpiles now sit at about 2,076 tons. After the nation increased reserves by about 120 tons in the 5 months through March. Central banks have purchased large amounts of gold in the past year to diversify assets as well as to protect reserves from the impact of a weakening dollar and rampant inflation. While inflows moderated in the first quarter of 2023, volumes were still at a historically elevated levels. According to the World Gold Council, Singapore, China, and Turkey were among the biggest buyers. The voracious appetite for gold has helped prices scale near record highs as markets fret over a slowing U.S. economy and signs of persistent credit stress, that credit crunch that we all like to talk about. Geopolitical risks stemming from increasingly fragile Sino-American relations are also boosting the safe haven. Okay. Yeah. So China has been aggressively stacking gold. Mamma mia. Another article I wonder if I queued that up for you guys. I guess I didn't. But there's another article that was in Bloomberg over the weekend was how still, what was it? Well, China is still trading cryptocurrency, basically. They're using VPNs. All right. So let's look at the crypto fear and greed. What is this? Nobody wants this. Am I in the wrong? What happened? What did I do wrong? What just happened? Alternative me? No. Okay. Okay, we did it. We did it, folks. Fear and greed. 60. We're in greed. This is probably going to change. This changes in 10 hours. Later today, I think we're going to be a little less greedy. But we're still in greed as of right now. All right, fine. No. Today, earnings, March 8th. What do we got? PayPal. Chicken. Palantir. Plug Power. Anybody a big green Palantir, Plug Power? It's like it's 2020 all over again. CRISPR. So we're going to get some interesting stuff. All right. CoinDesk. Let's go. What you got, CoinDesk? So Bitcoin's up to 27.9 now. Estonia's registered crypto firms drop 80% as tough new checks reveal suspicious behavior. Sam Altman's crypto project WorldCoin releases first major consumer product. This WorldCoin thing. Okay. Yeah, that whole Binance listing didn't really do wonders for Pepe, did it? Gave people an easy way to sell it. Liechtenstein plans to accept Bitcoin for payments to state. Prime Minister says. Meme coin trading volume surges to 2-year high, signals caution for Bitcoin bulls. What? Speculative mania. You guys into speculative mania? And meme coins is historically presaged bearish reversals in Bitcoin. Trading volume in meme coins or cryptocurrency originating from internet memes and having no inherent utility surged last week in a move reminiscent of frenzied activity observed ahead of previous Bitcoin market tops. Now, I do believe, like I said earlier, and I cannot find it for the life of me, that DCG, one of their companies, needs Bitcoin to be cheap this week. And you notice they're not talking, I didn't see a big Genesis talk, but we're going to look into that in a second. We're still scrolling. We're almost there, actually. The crypto market saw 2.3 billion in meme coin trading volume last week, a 6-fold rise from the preceding 387 million to the highest since May 2021. The speculative mania was led by Pepe Coin. My daughter tried to draw Pepe. If it's Buddy Man's here, she drew Pepe and him eating poop. And then she's like, hey, can you post this and see if that doofy guy will give me 50 algo for it? I was like, I'm not posting this to ask for 50 algo from the doofy guy. But it's cute. I've roped my poor 6-year-old daughter into this mania. The speculative mania was led by Pepe Coin. You know what she wants, and it's freaking cute. And I'm letting her try to like earn it in a certain way because we have plenty of monsters at this point. But she wants her own monster in her own wallet. That's what this little 6-year-old wants for Fractal Monsters. So shout out to Fractal Monsters. You are connecting. If you guys are feeling like there's obviously a hard time, certainly in like the NFT space. Obviously, Fractal Monsters is way more than NFTs, but you guys certainly in my household have connected, and you've made a fan in a 6-year-old little girl, and she's trying to draw to earn herself her own monster that she can grow from the beginning. I find it very sweet. The speculative mania was led by Pepe Coin, a frog-themed token launched in mid-April with a maximum supply of 420 trillion. Pepe crossed 1 billion in market capitalization on Friday, eventually peaking at 1.82 billion, a staggering achievement for a 3-week-old cryptocurrency. Okay, whatever. Tell us about how every time this happens, we all lose money. That's why I clicked. Historically, speculative mania and non-serious cryptocurrencies as would you stop using this word, presaged? Nobody wants to read that. Major market tops or bearish reversals. Yeah, you said that in the very first line. Okay, and then there's okay. Bitcoin traded at 27.97 at press time, represented a 2% drop on the day. But okay, so I guess they showed it, and did I skip it? Okay, so they're showing us this. There you go. All right, guys. Boom, boom. So they think that we're going to get a dip here. That wasn't a very good article, CoinDesk. Not going to lie. I may have just read it quickly. But not super excited about that article. We already read about that on Bloomberg. All right, cool. We'll go to the block, see if they have some headlines that CoinDesk wouldn't want to have. Yeah, we saw this last week. The Department of Justice is investigating whether Binance violated U.S. sanctions against Russia. Now, I think that's why people maybe were a little nervous about Bitcoin, Binance suspending Bitcoin withdrawals twice yesterday. Bitcoin-based BRC20 tokens combined market value eclipses 900 million. Binance CZ brushes off Bitcoin withdrawal issues after normal service resumes. Coinbase cuddles up to UAE policymakers as tensions with U.S. regulators grow. You've already seen CZ in the Middle East. All right, nothing new here. Okay, so real quick, let's look at. All right. They may even have a new update. I don't know, from yesterday. Let's just make sure you guys can see all this. Good. So here we go. So Gemini tweeted last week, April 30th. So this is not news. Earn update. This past week, Genesis Digital Currency Group, DCG, the Unsecured Creditors Committee, UCC, the Creditor Committee, and Gemini agreed to start a 30-day mediation process to drive to a final resolution as soon as possible. Gemini is supportive of mediation and working with the parties to bring this to a conclusion. We have also expressed our frustration on the record on the pace of progress among the parties and the need for urgency. The next status conference with the court will be on May 4th. This week's full update can be found below. Returning your assets is our highest priority. We truly appreciate your patience and support while we reach the next stage of this process. And then here's this update. So let's just refresh. Okay, so then on Friday, May 5th, they updated with, on May 1st, Genesis bankruptcy Judge Lane entered an order directing Genesis, Digital Currency Group, the Unsecured Creditors Committee, and the Ad Hoc Group of Creditors, previously referred to as a Creditor Committee, and Gemini to begin a 30-day process to mediate the contribution to be provided by DCG and its affiliates to Genesis bankruptcy. The mediation order appointed former bankruptcy judge Randall Newsom. Nobody cares. Okay, but this does matter. And directed parties to hold at least 2 substantive mediation sessions before Monday, May 8th. Both mediation sessions occurred this week on May 4th and 5th, respectively, and were attended by professionals and representatives from all interested parties. While the mediation is confidential, discussions toward a resolution remain ongoing between the parties, and the next status conference regarding the mediation is scheduled for next Monday on May 8th. So that is today. And if you look the week before, this is what I've been talking about. The proposed mediation provides for 2 meetings before May 8th. This is an important date because on May 9th to May 11th, DCG owes the Genesis bankruptcy estate $630 million, money that is due for the benefit of all creditors. If DCG is unable to pay and or restructure its debt, DCG risks defaulting on its obligations. So while the mediation is scheduled for up to 30 days, the parties are expected to work very fast, expeditiously. See, I tried to avoid it, but I was like, you know what? I can't cower to a challenge towards agreement in the immediate window. There you go, folks. So yes, they said they have 30 days, but really all of the leverage, all of it is right now. So we're going to find out stuff today. If they can figure something out today before tomorrow, that could be big time news, big good news, really, right? But if they can't come to terms today, and then if DCG defaults, that's a whole different thing. That should probably invite some volatility. And then you guys may remember, I mean, there's been a lot of stuff. I even showed this on Friday right here. DCG's Barry Silbert sells $755,000 worth of Grayscale Ethereum Classic Trust shares. Appears to be the first time. So some going on right here. And then you had Genesis has a few defenses. So then FTX is going after like $4 billion. Defunct cryptocurrency exchange FTX is seeking about $4 billion of cash and cryptocurrencies from Genesis Global, complicating the digital assets lender's negotiation with its creditors. If Genesis can't work out a repayment deal by Tuesday, its parent company, Digital Currency Group, may default on some of its obligations, according to Gemini, the crypto exchange that is creditor of Genesis. And documents filed Wednesday in the bankruptcy court for the Southern District of New York, lawyers for FTX said they intend to claw back funds received by Genesis and non-debtor affiliates. These funds would be used to help compensate all of the FTX creditors in the Bahamas-based exchange's own bankruptcy case. It's a mess. Genesis Global and GGC International, an affiliate that hasn't filed for bankruptcy but that is being asked to return approximately $213 million, have a few defenses they can claim against the clawback. Genesis can argue the ordinary course of business defense. That defense is used as a way for creditors to protect themselves from having to return a preferential payment to the debtor. The court hearing on the FTX motion scheduled for May 25th could shed more light on the legitimacy of this preference demand, she added. A preference demand makes it possible to request for the return or clawback of payments made by a debtor to third parties in the 90 days prior to a bankruptcy filing. Should FTX prevail, Genesis would have the ability to recoup some of the funds as a creditor, but that would be a lengthy process. Since this proceeding is mainly between two entities which have filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy, ultimately the funds will be taken from one set of debtors to benefit another set of debtors. Which ones are more legitimate to be made whole is yet another question. Lawyers for the current management of FTX allege that Genesis was one of the main feeders of funds for FTX and instrumental to its fraudulent business model. At one point in 2021, the lender had over $8 billion of outstanding loans to FTX. Genesis remains focused on our restructuring process, through which we are working to reach a consensual resolution that maximizes value for all Genesis clients and stakeholders. Okay, let's get to this real quick. The matter, and then we'll move on. The matter complicates Genesis's bankruptcy case, including the disposition of a loan it made to its parent crypto conglomerate DCG, controlled by Barry Silbert. According to court filings, DCG owes Genesis approximately $630 million due next week and risks a default if it does not make a payment or restructure its debt before May 9th. DCG risks defaulting on its obligation if Genesis cannot work out an arrangement by then. according to Gemini. An earlier arrangement with Genesis creditors fell apart after some of them reneged and raised new demands. That deal would have offered creditors about 80 cents on the dollar, according to a Genesis creditor, which cited an analysis by investment bank Houlihan Lokey. Houlihan has not responded to Forbes' request for comment. A DCG spokesman said the company has no further comments beyond what has been shared on the website. I expect DCG will not be able to make the payment unless they obtain refinancing immediately. The company faces difficult prospects, according to a shareholder letter that was shared with Forbes. CFO Michael Crane stepped down in April, and the company engaged Heidrick and Struggles. Heidrick and Struggles. That's where you go when you can't find a CFO to work for you. You go to Heidrick and Struggles. The things that make me laugh. In the letter, DCG also said it had fully repaid a $350 million secured loan to a bunch of other people. I don't care. Okay, moving on. Put you guys to sleep at the beginning of your day. I did have queued up this crypto hiring, DCG turnover taking center stage again. Michael Crane steps down. All right, enough of that. All right, guys. Did you people see? So I mentioned this earlier, but we'll look at it again. Block 788695 marks a historic moment in which transaction fees due to high demand for block space have exceeded the mining subsidy. The model for thermodynamic security has been proven possible. The only remaining question is if this demand is sustainable. And then somebody pointed out this was actually the second time. It also happened in 2017. So that's the bullish look on this. And then there's a bunch of drama. You guys into drama? Eric Wall and Udi, everybody, I think they put out an ordinal, very popular ordinal thing. I don't actually know a lot with this BRC20 standard. And they're being kind of yelled at by the Bitcoin community for, encouraging this bloat on Bitcoin. And his rebuttal to that was, so let me get this straight. 1, Gregory Maxwell, Andrew Polstra, and Peter Uwii invent Taproot, which relaxes the script and input limits on Bitcoin transactions. 2, Bitcoin maxis show the amazingness of Taproot for years and make sure it ends up in the Bitcoin protocol. 3, Casey Rodamer leverages the relaxed script limits and relaxed constraints on input sizes to build a simple protocol that embeds chunks of arbitrary data into Bitcoin. 4, Domo Data invents the BRC20 standard, a JSON format for minting tokens via ordinal inscriptions. And then 5, Jack Levine from the Exene team with 400,000 followers issues a BRC20, causing the fee floor to rise above 600 sats and a block to pay more fees than the native block reward for the first time in history. Udi and Eric are destroying Bitcoin. And then Munib says, sir, you missed a step where Udi and you started the most popular ordinals NFT, before which there was no traffic. So yes, other people built the gasoline tank and filled the tank and got the logs, but it was you two who actually started the fire, for which you should be proud. Easy fix. Just turn it into Bitcoin Cash. All right. So there's that drama there. And then the decrypt attack on Bitcoin. Attack on Bitcoin claims circulate as transaction fees climb higher. Some point the finger at ordinals and a few see nefarious intent. This is, I don't know what this is at now. I guess I could have gone. I could look here. Right now, there's 453,881 transactions unconfirmed. And then transaction fees, if you want to have a high priority transaction, is $23. Medium, so it's about $20. $21. It's really high. 3 for no priority. I guess you can just wait forever. That's pretty high. Pretty high. haven't even talked about Binance. I did actually. We did talk about it. Did we really? Did I get through most of this? I kind of blazed through all this stuff. Sorry. This guy is like this account is so like anti Binance for so long, but it has been in Tether, I think more specifically. But, his theory was from the beginning. So, Bennett, what fix could Binance possibly have for this issue? Network congestion is not something that can be solved by Binance. So why would they pretend they can? Well, I don't think that that's what they were pretending. I think it is I think they have had a pretty good explanation. Bitfinex, okay, I got a lot of notifications. What are you guys doing? They can allow their insiders to withdraw while blocking retail suckers from withdrawing. It all allows the insiders to front run retail to capture liquidity on other exchanges. Are other exchanges blocking withdrawals? So that was the theory. Oh, here's this. Look at this. I don't know. I think that this is legit. A fee of 64 ETH, $119,000 has just been paid for a single transaction. All right. So this guy is saying, hey, for people screaming about high fees, this is voluntary. The fees in the whole block were around 2 ETH. Everything else is tips to be prioritized. It's a voluntary bribe to validators. If someone pays that much, there's a reason for it. This guy says BitBoy finally got his transaction included. All right. Is there... All right. This is just because of some me being tagged as one of the people to follow in the Algorand community. Well, thank you for the suggestion. Let's just look at CZ real quick. See if there's anything new, any newer pictures of him holding up for about charity. There's some FUD about BTC withdrawal issues. Here's why. Bitcoin network fees are fluctuating. 18x in a month. This screenshot is a Google Translate version. There you go. That's the fees. Build the block in the metaverse. All right. Oh, look, I put Binance in and my little tweet came up. Looks kind of cool. All right. All right. Well, I mean, what else you guys want from me? Jesus Christ. My blood, my sweat, my tears. I'm here. Okay. So the optimism in the futures isn't necessarily translating to the markets. It was a very hot Friday. I think the Dow closed over 500 points up. So that makes a lot of sense. Loan forgiveness would bring unenrolled students back to college to create new loans. Oil's sharp slide has surprised the market, but some traders now see a bottom for prices. All right. Well, I don't really have much else to say. Obviously, a lot is going to happen today on this Gemini front, I believe, or Genesis DCG front. So I'll be interested to see that. We want to see what's going to happen, obviously, with Bitcoin and Binance. Bitcoin's still sitting at 27.9. The bottom's not falling out by any means. There's a lot of FUD surrounding Bitcoin right now. I mean, the transaction fees are high, but look, are ordinals the best thing that ever happened to Bitcoin? Probably not. I don't know. Is Bitcoin going to be able to hold up to all of this usage? Oh man. I mean, that's the thing, right? We'll end on this thing, which I intended probably to talk about more than I have. But look, I mean, we said it. Obviously, that ETH gas fee of 60 or whatever it was, is exaggerated because it was a tip. But look, sending a simple ERC20 somewhere or whatever, and having to pay $40, $50 in gas, or having that transaction fail and you still are paying gas, and all of this crap that you have to do, let alone if you're trying to go like BitBoy onto Uniswap and whatever you're trying to do, or you're trying to provide liquidity and you put liquidity in, you want to pool liquidity, all of those fees. I mean, you have to be playing with size. You have to be playing with some serious size in order to justify those types of fees. And that's like, so the problem with the current with how things work currently. You have to have size to participate in a meaningful way. It would make no sense for somebody with a couple of grand, $1,000 worth of Pepe and $1,000 worth of Ethereum, and to try to go, earn some transaction fees in LP and to actually participate in that market. It makes no sense with all these stupid fees. Now people are going to be like, well, that's what layer twos are for. Yeah, but layer twos are convoluted. They actually have pretty high fees as well. And it's navigating all that shit. It's like, that's what alt layer ones were made for. And now we have Bitcoin showing that it can't handle, or maybe it can, but not gracefully, all of these inscriptions and all that crap, right? So Bitcoin, these legacy guys, Bitcoin and Ethereum, which aren't going anywhere, but are showing that they can't really scale to this in a way that can create any sort of mass adoption, right? That's just not, it's not realistic. So then you have these alt layer ones. You have the most popular one to people, Solana, really. That's not an ERC20. And then you have other guys like Near, and then you have Algorand. Now, Algorand actually very nicely displayed the use case of Algorand and with Pepe and being able to, but you need the liquidity. And I'm seeing people rugging it on Pact right now. That's no good for Algorand. What's going on? What did you guys respond to me about that? Okay. But anyways, the point is like, folks, it's so crazy because, I've been talking about this long enough to have been saying this for a long time, that these types of scenarios were always like, I've been talking about it, and it just keeps on getting worse and worse and worse. So at some point, you're going to need an Algorand to be a settlement layer for these bigger boys. Bronze medal party's back on, folks. But okay, let's go to the chat before I have to go. Any hope for Alchemon? I hope so. Clifford I love Clifford, and they have been working hard doing this from the beginning. They got a lot of funding, didn't they? So hopefully, give the girl a wallet, Coop. Yeah. I will. I will. Let's see. Let's go back. Oh, right. Yeah, I tweeted about that the other night. Ethereum Foundation. Yeah, and then Vitalik has been pretty epic in his ability. Oh, yeah. How did I forget about that? Pretty epic in his ability to call the top. And I forget, was it like 15,000 ETH? Or was it 50,000 ETH? I don't know. But yeah, the foundation and Vitalik are selling some Ethereum, some Ether. Ethereum Foundation and Vitalik unloaded. Yep. Hello. Hi, Ludo. BTC network stress test. I think it's kind of expected before the halving. Cool. Cooper, where did you do the Pepe ETH bridge? I did it in Messina. I sent it through MetaMask to Messina. It was great. It worked great. It took concerns why? Why is there concerns go ETH, wrapped ETH? Some people pulled because they couldn't bridge their Go ETH to wrapped ETH on Ethereum. Well, yeah, guys, this is the problem right now. Is that you can't bridge your Go ETH on Messina because I don't think enough people are actually bridging ETH on Messina. That's not where the bridge for ETH has happened. The ETH bridge truly is AlgoMint. Now, there's an issue with AlgoMint. You have to KYC. So that's the problem. Okay, so that's what you're telling me. Well, that sucks. All right. My son started getting down on Alchemon when he was 6. All 3 of mine have their own algo wallets. Any hope for Alchemon? Didn't have the cash to pay the devs, and they have families to provide for, so who knows? Mobile would have changed everything. They need that. So does Fractal Monsters. Instead, the reward metrics got tinkered with and made it way less profitable, even with the grind. My kids stopped playing, as did I. Aww. Fractal has a high entry price, I think, so we never started playing in our house. I just got everyone on Wombat wallet, which reminded me of the lack of integration for Algorand. Repeat after me, expeditiously. Entry point for Fractal right now is only 100A or $17. Exactly. That's why she's 50. That's why I told her that. I said that she needs to have 100 algo in order to get her own monster. But she wants a monster. She wants she doesn't want a bad monster. We want your bathwater too, Coop. Thank you, guys. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but my bathwater would be. See, I bent over backwards for you people. Has anyone checked Perry Coop, when Pepe go up? Pepe go up when somebody with a ton of money decides it's going to go up. Crypto for change. You are at the whim. Hopefully, some of these Pepe whales that have been selling all the way down don't just run away, and they decide, because they're holding on to some still, that they're going to make a massive purchase to create FOMO. I think that's what you're hoping for, Crypto for Change. You're preying on a random few people to deploy their gains back into Pepe so people can get excited about it, because people are only going to get excited about Pepe as it goes up. As it goes down, Pepe gets less exciting. But you just have to show the squiggly faced one where you look sad, because that one is infinitely funny. Oh, you can do it now. Okay, good. Okay, so I take all that back. You can put your liquidity back into the pack pool. Oh my God. I probably have now 45 billion Pepe and 0.00038 ETH. Okay, well, folks, look, we had a lot of fun today. It was a mess. It's okay. We have 2 weeks until the 90-day challenge is up. This is day 1 of the final 2 weeks, the home stretch. Brazil, thank you for the smiles. And we'll get a good. I started off a little rough today, but I made it through. I feel good. I feel inspired, ready to attack the day. Bye, Cooper. Bye. Thank you, guys. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, everybody. I appreciate you guys. I will see you tomorrow morning. Today's Monday. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Let's see how it all shakes out. Feels like it's going to be a weird one.